Oh!
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Dead Funny Movie Awards for 2021. That's right, we did the video games, and now we're here to do the movies. So yeah, this was a tad bit of a hard list for everybody here, because COVID happened. I don't know if you know that, but if you don't, I don't know where
Look
you
it
live.
up.
But
It's pretty crazy.
yeah, COVID happened, so people wanting to go out, not wanting to go out, whatever's going on. Yeah, there's been multiple different reasons why people haven't seen movies this year and why movies have been delayed, all that fun stuff. So we're going to do what we can with what we have. The video game list was a lot easier to do, that's for sure, because you can play those from the privacy of your own home. But that being said, exactly. That being said, we're going to go ahead and kick it off here. I want to start with saying I do not have any Marvel movies, I guess I should say, on my list, solely due to the fact that it's Marvel movies. Like, I'm trying to give some light to, like, if we were an official award show, I'm not snubbing anybody. Like, if you're the best, you should be the best. I'm just trying to shine some light on some other movies that I thought were well worth the watch.
Okay.
That being said, I do feel that because we haven't done the Spider-Man review show, I've also left all Spider-Man conversation off of my list as well. So, there. To be safe. To be safe. So, that being said, I'm going to start out with Best Actor, and it's actually funny that I said Spider-Man, not because of anything, but the fact that this guy was in a Spider-Man movie. Andrew Garfield has to be my Best Actor. Here's why. That musical movie he did. I don't watch musical movies. I enjoy watching this kid in everything he is in. Everything. It's Tick, Tick, Boom is the name of it. And
like
it's
8
a
years
biography.
older than we
Huh?
Said this kid. He's
That's
like 20.
fine. I love Andrew Garfield in everything he's in. The positivity he brings to every single role is just fucking great. I love this kid and everything. This was kind of a split decision for me because the other person that I kind of wanted to give this to was Jake Gyllenhaal. But I'll talk about why I wanted to give to Jake Gyllenhaal whenever I get to the actual category that has the actual movie that he is getting the title for. So, that being said, yeah, I had to go Andrew Garfield. I just love everything this kid is in. I've been very open about the fact that that's my favorite Spider-Man out of all three of the Spider-Man series that are out there. I loved him in the Facebook movie. I mean, literally everything this kid has been in. I literally went to Amazon, watched Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 1, Amazing Spider-Man 2. Then you scroll down and it shows the actors and actresses that are in the movie. And then it's like, here's everything else that Andrew Garfield has been in. And I think I literally just went down the fucking list one by one and just got my Andrew Garfield in one day. Like, just one by one. I love this guy in everything he's in. So I got to give it up to him. I have to. It's easy to look at stuff like Free Guy or Red Notice, be like Ryan Reynolds, but I don't feel Andrew Garfield gets enough love. So today, Andrew Garfield, if for some grace of God you're watching this, I love you, buddy. All right.
That for a second there. Is it easy to look at Red Notice and say Ryan Reynolds? Like, is that good? Like, is that?
I think it's more along the lines of Ryan Reynolds is such a juggernaut that I don't think you could sit down and watch a movie with Ryan. I mean, the dude literally made a movie called Buried, where he was in a box for the entirety of the movie until the last 10 fucking minutes. The dude could do anything. He could do anything. It doesn't fucking matter. Just put him in anything and he'll fucking knock it out of the park. So it's like, I feel like that Ricky Gervais whenever he was at the movie awards or whatever it was, and he's just all like, 3 fucking hours of this. It should just be me coming out here and being like, good job, Netflix. You've done it. Goodbye. Fuck off. And then leave. Like, that should just be it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that literally is what it is. Yeah, it's 100%. If you have not watched that, by the way, his whole monologue of I think it's like Golden Globes, actually. It's the funniest shit in the world. Because it's like his 5th time doing it. And he just didn't give a fuck and let people know. He made Jeffrey Epstein jokes. Like, he went balls to the wall, didn't give a shit. Like, whenever he was talking about it, now all these actors and actors like, oh, and he's all like, hey, you're friends with him. I wasn't. He was your friend. Like, shit like that. Like, he didn't give a fuck. at all. Jumped on cancel culture for the fact that Kevin Hart got snuffed out of being able to do the fucking movie awards and shit because all that Twitter bullshit he said like 10 years ago or something like that. Like, he went off. It's by far the funniest thing that's out there. I'll have to send you a link because it's fucking hilarious. Anyways, Kelsey, best actress. Or actor, sorry. We're not moving down
I do
the
really
list.
enjoy Andrew Garfield, so I will be very honest that I do like him, and I do like your pick, and I like your pick more for better reasons. Ultimately, I'm going to go with Free Guy and Ryan Reynolds, because it was wonderful. You knew I was going to. You knew I was going to. Fuck you.
Oh, that's funny. I honestly
Thank you
didn't.
for discounting my opinion.
I just want to
Chris.
say.
You can fuck off.
I want to say I had just to clarify for those of you watching at home, I had no idea who the fuck she was picking. So, but that's pretty fucking funny. I'm not gonna lie. Oh man, that's great. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds.
JoJo, what was your opinion? What's your pick?
I want to preface this publicly here. Say I didn't see any like good movie. I mean, I saw movies I liked. You know, the movies I watched I enjoyed, but it wasn't like a thing that people would give a real award to. No, it's not like I saw anything that I tried to look up if like some of that stuff was streaming and right now and it wasn't, and I'm like, fuck it, and I just that guy who played Kano in that Mortal Kombat movie was the best part of that movie. He was among a bunch of people who aren't that great at acting, maybe.
Oh man.
His name's Josh Lawson. He's Australian, and he was funny.
The way the YouTube app works, I can click on our channel's analytics and it will go to comments, and it always shows the comments that you haven't either one liked or two responded to first before it shows you new ones. And that top comment, and it's even better because the dude has changed his YouTube picture, so it's a picture of Pennywise now, so it's like even more love for me. But the top comment is still that one going, yeah, I don't know what JoJo's talking about. Mortal Kombat sucked ass.
That's fine. It's not like a mad invested.
I love it. It's great.
If you think that movie sucked ass, I would guess you would think that Kano guy sucked the least ass of any of it.
Possible.
Well, no, okay. Actually, I take it all back. Actual serious answer is that guy who played Scorpion is the actual best actor in that movie.
I feel so bad
for Sonata.
Yeah, I feel so bad for people that get roped in movies like that. Like, there are so many directors that just destroy films, and like to have him literally speak basically nothing but Japanese the entire movie, and then out of nowhere just to get the fan applause of "Get over here!" Like, that's the one English line he had the entire movie. Everything else is Japanese. It was like, Jesus, dude. Oh my god. I was actually talking about that yesterday because I got into an argument going back to the Andrew Garfield thing, playing Spider-Man, because it's like, if you actually look up the amount of deleted scenes out of that Spider-Man series, there's so much plot holes that are created because the director's like, we're cutting this, and we're cutting this, and like, there's a whole scene after Gwen Stacy dies where he's at her grave and his dad shows up. His fucking dad shows up. Richard Parker literally shows up out of nowhere, and it's this whole emotional scene that Andrew Garfield did so good, where it's like, you were never there, you are not my dad, like shit like that, like crying and shit. Such an emotional scene, completely cut out of the movie. Because he even gets to the part where he's like,
weird, elaborate plans for those Amazing Spider-Man
it's
movies.
nuts, dude. It's nuts because he was like dealing with this like struggle of like, how do I move on to Spider-Man? I've lost my motivation. Gwen is dead. And he even looks at his dad and he goes, how do I move on without her? And he's all like, you don't. You bring her with you everywhere you go. And then that was like his like moment to get back in the suit. And then they do the whole scene with the little kid and shit like that. It was just like, man, dude, like, directors can fuck some movies sometimes, and it sucks. It really fucking sucks. But I don't write those budgets, so.
Exciting news.
It's really someone hire. It's an editor or something. Really, the director. I don't know. But, you know, they get told to like, cut it down for time. Right.
Exciting news for JoJo. That particular actor will be playing somebody in John Wick Chapter 4 coming out next year.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna be Kano in John Wick.
Please.
Oh shit, that's great. All right, so we are actually going to go ahead and kick off Best Actress. Kelsey, why don't you go ahead and take lead for this one?
Scarlett Johansson and Black Widow, fight me.
Yeah, that's a bad pick. Sorry, that's
I
a
will
bad
vote-
pick.
I vote for
Movie's
the
fucking
other
terrible.
lady in Black Widow, Florence.
Which one was
Really?
she?
You hang on. Full stop. So you watched Black Widow, Chris, and you saw Scarlett Johansson. You saw her performance, and you were like, "No, she was shit."
As far as the direction of the movie and how her character was played, absolutely, yeah. Her character had so many plot holes in that it was ridiculous, except for the very end. Whenever she actually fights the guy and moves forward with that 100% felt like Black Widow to me. The entire like family squabble that was going on and off the entire movie did not feel like Black Widow to me whatsoever.
And you felt that failed because of her performance.
No, the movie itself was just trash. Those are two completely different points.
That's what I'm saying, is she acted her ass off and did the best she could with what she had. And I don't at all think that anybody's reaction to that movie was failure because of her performance. I think she showed up and gave it her all. And I think people like to shit on the movie, and she did a very good job in that, and that deserves to be recognized. So, hence the fight me.
Yeah. Good pick.
All right, JoJo, your opinion.
I was gonna say here's two answers. Florence Pugh, I actually like better in that movie.
Who?
Elena.
Okay,
So I would
the
say
sister.
her.
Got you.
Yeah, she was great.
But also, actually, my vote is probably it's Tilda Swinton. She was in 3 movies last year. She's a great actress. She's probably better than anyone we're talking about.
Potentially.
I don't know. I didn't see any of them.
Possible.
I'm just saying she's probably better.
I like you just have that confidence in Tilda Swinton, which is totally fair, actually.
Or do other things. So probably.
It's fair. It's fair. I am gonna go ahead and say that mine is also from Black Widow. I'm gonna choose the chick that played Taskmaster. Stunning performance. It was great. Fantastic.
I don't feel like that's sincere at all.
Nope, that's not.
No, it's not. Mine's gonna see a little biased because of how I started my first one, but I really enjoyed this movie. I actually watched it a couple times on my own, which is kind of insane because I don't care for Disney whatsoever. But this is another person who I generally just enjoy watching in movies, and that is Emma Stone. So Cruella.
I never watched that.
Oh.
Yep, I like Emma Stone.
All of my picks are movies I actually watched, and I feel like that may be swaying my opinion some.
I mean, that's mostly my
I
pick,
mean,
too.
that's kind of fair, though. Like, you don't want to be the person that's like, oh, that game's terrible, but I never played it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of fair. So, I mean, we have a short list. It is what it is. We got to pick from our list. But, yeah, it's kind of fair. So, like I said, Emma Stone, I mean, I loved her in Superbad, Easy A, La La Land. Once again, I don't watch a lot of musicals, but La La Land was really fucking good. She did a great fucking job. It does sound like I've watched a lot. La La Land, Cruella, like I did. I actually just watched a movie yesterday with her in it, and I didn't even know this movie existed. Fuck, what's the name of that movie? It's her, Bradley Cooper. He's like some fucking dude that used to work for the military, wanted to go to NASA. He gets like completely fucked up in Iraq, and then becomes like kind of like one of those, the military hate him, but they need him, like those contractors that do, bid work for them and stuff like that. And she gets put as like the pilot that's in charge because she just made captain. She puts her the pilot to make sure like he gets his shit done because he's like on thin ice, da 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 da. And so they have like this whole like love relationship kind of going back and forth and shit like that. She just did a really good job. I like
Aloha?
Yes, there you go. Aloha. Thank you.
Oh, that's Aloha.
Yeah.
Aloha is I'm only familiar with that because she like plays an Asian woman in that movie.
Yeah, that was weird. It's
Japanese or something.
Well, no, it's basically because it's Aloha, so they're on Hawaii, and so like she's like part Hawaiian. Is basically like, she was born on the island, so she considers herself part Hawaiian. So she does like a lot of like that's like where a lot of the change happens in the movie because he's all strictly military, and she's like, yeah, but we can't like destroy like what this land stands for, da 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 da, and stuff like that. So, yeah. But it was a good movie.
I feel
She
like
did a good job.
her fault as an actress that she got cast in like a ridiculous role.
No, and ultimately, it's not Emma Stone's fault, but at the same time, I would expect the casting director to be like, are there any hot, like, native Hawaiians that would be capable of playing this role? Yes, I should probably cast one of those.
Yeah, but I feel like the feel that I had for her character and the reason why they chose the route that they did was because they wanted somebody The tone of the movie was that Hawaiian people don't really give a shit about American government and American military. So it was hard for them to have somebody who was considered to be in the American military, but also part Hawaiian. So I understood why they did what they did, but they probably still could have found somebody Hawaiian to play the role. But
I was gonna say I know hot like Native Hawaiians.
oh, for sure, yeah, absolutely, definitely. Culture has beautiful
not
people.
Impossible.
Yeah, beautiful people for sure. So, but yeah, so that's my pick. Like I said, it seems a little biased because I was talking about the whole Amazing Spider-Man. Obviously, she played Gwen Stacy, but you know, it is what it is. So can't help it. I literally walked in on
you have
Corella.
two modes: hard fanboy, where nothing will separate you from the thing you love, and salty, bitter ass piece of shit, and you hate everything over here. Those are the two modes.
I just didn't have a single other female on anything that I watched that I just thought hit it out of the park. And it's one of those things where it's like I said, I walked out there 3 times and saw different pieces of Corella, and I was like, you know what? It's good enough for me to watch. I'm gonna watch it. And I sat down and watched it, and I was like, you know what? She did a great job of a movie that I didn't care about.
Great.
So, yeah, I'll go with it. Anyways, so next section. Best visuals. Best visual effects, I guess I should say. JoJo, start us off.
I thought Starro looked pretty cool in that Suicide Squad movie. He's a giant starfish man.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
I forget, and like the shark guy. I mean, King Shark looked good like that.
King Shark.
I clearly kind of vote for that.
The polka dot guy. Very interesting how they did the effects with him as well.
Actually, yes. Just, I'm not even mincing my words. That's a serious answer.
It's fair pick. It's fair pick. I can agree with that. There was a lot of different nice visual effects going on in that movie, so I can definitely agree with that. For me, it's a movie that's already won a different category for somebody else, but I would have to go with Free Guy for visual effects. There was a shit ton of CGI in that movie, and it was done really well. Done really well. I think that they did a good job of like the difference between like how an NPC sees the world versus how a player sees the world. I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, they did a really good job of that one. So that would be my pick for that. Kelsey.
Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings.
I've heard really good things. I haven't seen it yet, and I get yelled at for not seeing it all the fucking time. I actually hear that out of the Marvel movies that did come out last year, that is the one actual good one. So.
And yes.
I heard Eternals was like a huge.
Yeah, as someone who has seen both, when I went to watch the Eternals, I'm like, these are all these A-list actors here, and on top of that, like, it's a Marvel movie. They're clearly going to put some budget and effort into this. And then I started watching it and went, oh, they put the C team on this shit, and I don't know why. Like, I don't know why.
They put like an A team on it. They just messed up, I think. Like, they got an Oscar-winning director and, you know, all these great actors and everything. And I just, like, made a not great thing.
The actors acted the shit out of it. 0% of why that movie failed has to do with the actors. Every part of what had, like, the reason that failed had to do with other things. And, no. So,
that was not...
I didn't realize until watching that movie that Marvel would just, like, I don't know, fuck it up and phone it in, and decide, like, we can make shit stuff and people will still watch it. So it makes me appreciate the fact that they didn't do that with Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings, which I would argue the average person consuming Marvel movies probably cared less about, and the fact that they didn't phone that in is more meaningful to me, and I'm grateful that they didn't make that decision.
Yeah, I would definitely put Shang-Chi down there on a list of, like, characters that probably nobody knows outside of reading comics. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy used to be on that list as well.
I would rank him a little above the Eternals.
Yeah, true.
No one knows.
Yeah. I mean, that's what really sucked for me. It had nothing to do with Shang-Chi, just more the Eternals. Is like, I was super excited for this movie to come out. Like, I was like, fuck yeah, dude, the Eternals, let's go. They could have so many different places to go with this fucking movie. And they chose to go to the trash. So, sucks.
The last 3 minutes is the best 3 minutes of the movie. When they're setting up what the hell they're going to do next.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'll get around to watching it. It's on the fucking list, unfortunately. So. Oh, well. Well, that's best visual effects. I guess I'll go ahead and start off. Best comedy, I'm not going to lie, phone this one in because I did not think there were a lot of really good comedy movies. And once again, this is the movie that has already won Suicide Squad. So, yeah.
Okay.
There were a lot of really good, funny scenes. Once again, Polka Dot Man with the whole seeing his mom as everyone. I thought that shit was fucking hilarious. So that was like the whole crux of his power and shit like that was pretty funny. There was a lot of different really good scenes, a lot of really funny scenes, but I don't think that I even looked down like a full list of all the comedy movies that came out in 2021, and there was not a single one where I was like, you know what, I watched that and thoroughly enjoyed it. Not a single fucking one. And I love comedy. I fucking love comedy. So
Wait, isn't Free Guy a comedy?
it is.
Which is why it won for me, because it was wonderful and great.
It is, and I will say, for me, the Marvel scene out of that movie was probably the best thing to happen in that movie. Everything else just it wasn't, in my opinion, was not Ryan Reynolds' best work. Like, this would be better than Green Lantern, but definitely not like topping Deadpool or fucking almost anything else he's done. I mean, he's done a lot of really well. And Van Wilder would probably be below that shit too. But
question, did not rank for you because like he scaled back, not I would argue his performance, but like the risque, like edge walking element of his performance for Free Guy. And is that why it didn't hit for you? Is because you only enjoy Ryan Reynolds when he's like over the line?
I think it's more that I feel like Ryan Reynolds was put into a movie with casts that were clearly below him as far as like experience is concerned. And I don't feel like his supporting cast was able to make Ryan Reynolds like, you can only carry a movie for so long before you're like, I mean, put it this way. At what point in that movie did you watch the movie and be like, I wonder what the other characters are at? Like, they specifically made that movie around Guy. Like, he had to be in almost every fucking scene of that movie for that movie to even be close to as much money as it made. Like, had to. Sure. Literally had to. So it's like,
I see your point.
Yeah, you know, to where, like, once again, Red Notice wasn't the greatest, but you had The Rock who could carry something. Gal Gadot obviously could fucking carry something. Like, yeah. It could be literally, like, that movie could switch between the three and you'd be, like, excited the entire time. But if they would have had, like, a whole bunch of long scenes with the whole, like, love between the two kids and everything, I was like...
Don't care. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's where it is for me. Unfortunately, like I said... I kind of phoned it in with that one, but it was a funny movie. There were a lot of parts where I was like, all right, that's pretty fucking good. So, like I said, that was probably the biggest chuckles of 2021 for me, and that's pretty sad. I'm not going to lie. I feel bad about that pick, but it's true.
Now we're all depressed.
Fuck! Anyways, it's all good.
I think comedy has shifted to a streaming and television format. You know, like, they don't put out the good stuff as a film anymore, you know?
That's fair.
That's why.
And that is a great conversation for a podcast. We should definitely bring it up on the podcast, 100%, because I've got some thoughts on that too. But, Kelsey, best comedy.
Already said it.
All right, Kelsey already said it. JoJo, boom.
Yeah, I'm on board for Suicide Squad, sure.
Sure, why not? Fuck it.
No, the movie's cool and funny. I like it a lot. Also, I don't know if you checked it out yet, the Peacemaker show.
I haven't. I'm thinking about it, but I'm not quite sold.
It's really, really good.
Okay.
Genuinely.
I'll have to look into it then.
Yeah.
Because I've seen, like, commercials, and there's been a couple of them I'm like, you know what? Maybe. And then I go to start it, and I'm like, maybe not right now. You know? Like, that's where I'm at with that one, so I do that a lot.
It's really good.
All right, well, then we will move on to the next spot, and Kelsey will kick this one off with Best Drama.
All right, I will be honest, I have not seen that. It's the only one I haven't seen. But I'm so excited to see it, and I've heard good things, and so I'm hoping it will stand up anyway. The Last Duel.
That's fair.
Like, I've heard really good things. Yep. Like, I already love the cast. I'm fucking hoping it's great because it looks amazing.
Yep. I will say it was very hard for me to not put that on my list. And the only reason it didn't go on my list was due to the fact that I haven't seen it. So, I mean, I literally wrote it and then backspaced. Mm-hmm. I had to go down the list to find some things for this specific category as well. But I'm kind of happy with what I pulled up. So,
but of the shit that I've seen, nothing else would compare to what I think the potential of that movie is, and then the reviews that I've heard.
It looks so
I'm
fucking
giving that
good.
answer, even though I haven't seen it. Please forgive me.
No, that's completely fine.
JoJo, all yours.
I will not forgive you.
This is the end of our friendship. Yeah. Goodbye, everyone.
I don't even know. Like I said, I didn't see anything like serious or good. So, Oh boy, that fucking Zack Snyder Justice League. Like, I really didn't see anything
Drama
dramatic.
related. Okay.
God, aren't you
Yeah.
glad we didn't do this last year because you'd have to answer cats for everything, and that'd just be amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, that would be terrible.
Yeah. That's right. No, the best drama I saw was Cats 2 years ago. It was so good.
I just love how like Kelsey, best drama, go, and then JoJo's like Free Guy.
The best drama is Succession season 3.
There you go.
It's,
For me, this was a hard one. Since once again, like I said, I had to take the last duel off because I did see some movies that I thought could make the category. So this is a 3-way split. If I had to give it to one, I would probably take The Guilty as the number one. And this leads back to what I was talking about with Jake Gyllenhaal. The Guilty is where he is a dispatch officer and he gets the phone call.
Year?
That came out 2021.
I retract my comment that one because it was amazing.
It was fucking amazing. Such a good fucking movie.
Such a good movie.
And that's almost why I wanted to give him Actor of the Year, solely due to I can't imagine how hard that has to be. You're basically acting by yourself the entire fucking time.
So I looked up that movie later, and apparently there's a ton of people that hate it because they're like, it remade what the original did, and the original was better. And I'm like, I'm sorry. If I get if you loved the original one, you look at this and you're like, I can't because it's not the same, and I understand that. And apparently the other one did a better job of like bringing in other people, and like Jake Gyllenhaal for this movie specifically was like, I am willing to be the one that is in every second of this whole thing. Let's go. Nice. And so he made that choice, and he fucking
killed
did it.
Yeah, he killed it.
He
Absolutely.
landed that whole thing. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. It was amazing.
It was a fucking great movie.
Sorry to take over your time.
No, you're good. Fucking great movie.
Got shot in 11 days. So there you go.
Damn.
Holy
shit. Got COVIDed or whatever, and so they had to like get it quick.
Hey, fucking Jake Gyllenhaal got it in, dude. He got it in. He took care of business. I like Jake Gyllenhaal a lot. He plays a lot of cop movies like that. Like, for instance, End of Watch. That was another really good one that he fucking did. Yeah, he's just really good. But yeah, it's like I said, I kind of wanted to give him Best Actor. I gave that to Andrew Garfield. But yeah, The Guilty definitely is up there. The two that came close were The Little Things with Denzel Washington and Jared Leto and the guy that played Freddie Mercury in
Rami Malek.
There, those three.
Yeah.
Super fucking good movie. I think all three of them playing off each other. Like, Jared Leto just does such a good job at being that creepy fucking guy. Not Andrew Garfield, Jesus Christ. I'm reading my list. Denzel Washington. There's not a movie I don't like Denzel Washington in. He's so fucking good at everything he fucking does. And then, like, this Romney dude, to me, is kind of, like, new to the scene. Like, I know he's not, but, like, to me, like, the first time I ever saw him was the fucking
relative
Queens.
to Denzel Washington, absolutely.
True. Yeah, exactly.
Relative to Denzel Washington, everyone is.
Yeah, true. But I think being put into a movie with, like, some very, like, high A-list actors, he held his own in that movie. Like, held his own, and that was really impressive to me.
I would have a hard time making an argument that, like, Rami Malek is not an A-list actor. Like, he either is or he should be. Like, he is either top B or A-list actor. Like, he is in a lot of things, and he's extremely talented.
I feel like if you took race out of the situation, I feel like if you had these specific roles out there, I don't see us. And once again, this isn't like the best way to judge this or even do this contest, but I feel like there's not a movie where he gets casted over Denzel Washington or Jared Leto. I just don't. I don't see it.
They're very different people.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the hard thing with acting, for sure. That's what I'm saying. It's not the best case for the argument whatsoever, but it's just one of those things where it's like, whenever I look at the long list of movies that all of them have been in, it just seems like there is a difference in gap. Not necessarily on him. His acting performance might be great. He just, in my opinion, like I said, there's not a lot of insanely popular movies that he's been in comparatively to Washington. Now, once again, he's
relatively new to being in movies.
Exactly. There's a long time difference there, obviously, between those two specific actors. Yeah. But even whenever you bring Jared Leto, the list is still longer for him as far as like movies that have knocked it the fuck out of the park. So,
And with acting, you also have the secondary conversation of like physical appearance. Totally,
oh,
not the
absolutely,
acting ability, but just the
absolutely.
physical appearance determines what you're going to be put in. And
Mm-hmm.
Rami Malek is never going to be your romance lead,
No.
most likely. Like the situation where that's going to happen is pretty rare because there are, and God, Rami Malek, if you're watching this, A, find better things to do with your time. But B, you're a pretty guy, but you, I think, would agree with me, like, he's not the stereotypic pretty guy that you're going to put in a romance movie.
He's not the Ryan
stereotypic-
Reynolds, right?
He's not the Ryan Reynolds. He's also not the stereotypical pretty guy like Jake Gyllenhaal you're going to put in a cop movie. Like the roles that he can physically portray, he has this wide-eyed look that is very appropriate for very specific roles. And he's more likely to be cast into those in spite of his acting talent, which would allow him a much greater range, is the argument I'm making.
Yeah, no, I can completely agree with that, and that's definitely a fair argument. But yeah, like I said, he just did a great fucking job. Like I felt like all three of them were very important parts of the movie. I didn't watch the movie going, okay, this is actually more Denzel Washington versus Jared Leto. It was all three of them actually played a very important part in the movie. And then the last one, I just finished it yesterday, and I thought it was super fucking good. But it doesn't beat The Guilty, but it's close, is The Tinder Bar. I told you guys I was going to watch it. I watched it. I loved every part of that movie. It was a great movie based off a memoir. Yes, absolutely. It was done
I have
really,
zero
really well.
interest in watching it, and I'm trying to like get a desire to watch it.
It's a very interesting movie about like a kid that basically just like has a whole bunch, like you've got the classic absentee father who doesn't give a shit about you. You got to move into the house with all your relatives because your mom unfortunately can't afford to pay for a house because the times were the times. And you've got the uncle who tries to do what he can to be the dad that's missing. And how is this going to set this kid up for future and become what he became? And it was, and just the fact that the majority of his life lessons he had to learn on his own, and it was done really, really well. I liked it a lot. So, yeah. There was this one part, which this isn't going to give anything away, but Ben Affleck's character, the uncle, is like helping him pick out classes and shit for college and whatnot. And he's like, what should I take that would be an easy class to pass? And it's all like, it's easy. It's really easy. Just take philosophy. There's no wrong answers. And I was like, Jesus, dude. Stay philosophy. There's no wrong answers. But yeah, so like I said, it was kind of a three-way tie, but if I had to rank it, it would probably go The Guilty, and then like right there is The Little Things, and then like almost tied with that is The Tinder Bar. But once again, we're still dealing with the short list here. So yeah, that was my dramas. No, that was my dramas. So we did, that was Kelsey. Back to me. Okay, cool. So best action.
I think this is JoJo that's supposed
It's
to be doing this
JoJo,
one.
correct?
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
F9: The Fast Saga.
Oh,
Fucking
my
dumbest title. Why
God.
is it named that? Whatever. It's the ninth Fast and Furious movie.
Why are you still watching Fast and the Furious after 9 titles is the
Fucking
question.
rules.
I love you so much.
Seriously, it's sincerely cool as shit.
Oh my
Spoilers,
god.
they go to low orbit in this one.
That's right, they do.
Oh,
Oh my god, yes.
Ludacris goes to space.
I don't even have the energy. And it's not even COVID this time. Like I just don't have the energy for this one. I just don't.
No,
I don't.
I think JoJo's opinion is totally valid.
Oh god.
Like Fast 5 is straight up like an incredible movie. This one's good. Like oh man, they do the dumbest action shit. There's so many magnets in this movie. Everyone's doing
What?
It's insane. There's just for some reason all the schemes in this one involve magnets. So it's like they got a truck with magnets in it, and there are people in cars coming at you, and you turn on the magnets, and cars stick to the truck, and they also repulse the thing. It's dumb. It's so dumb. I don't think magnets work the way they're working in this movie.
It's glorious.
I'm
is
not
the word
gonna
I'm
lie.
looking for.
John Cena's in it as Dominic Toretto as Vin Diesel's brother. And it doesn't make any sense because look at Vin Diesel and look at John Cena.
They don't look alike at all. Yeah. No,
Not at all.
I
They have
didn't
Not
to
even
put a
slightly.
line of dialogue in the movie where Charlize Theron comments on how, like, wow, there must have been some Nordic recessive genes that John Cena inherited because he doesn't look anything like the rest of his family.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm very surprised that your action movie wasn't Mortal Kombat. That one fucking suppresses the shit out of me. I'm not
Mortal
gonna lie.
Kombat was kind of bad and kind of good.
It was pretty bad.
F9 is just kind of good.
No, it's not. I've never talked to somebody who was so happy about a movie and their fucking argument is there's so many magnets in the movie. Like, it's not really a strong argument right out the gate. I'm not gonna lie.
Magnets, really.
JoJo, say that again. I need to hear you use that.
Oh my god.
And if you can't appreciate that, like, it's a good action movie because there are so many magnets, like, you and JoJo are on different levels, and I prefer JoJo's level because, like,
That's fine.
yes.
That's
We're not
fine.
talking, like, well-crafted, brilliant writing or whatever.
Nah.
Fucking action, they do some action, man. That's what they do. But then also they do this subplot where Tyrese and Ludacris have an existential crisis because they keep surviving insane things, and Tyrese starts to suspect that he's inside of a movie.
Yes, it's glorious. It's really good. It's wonderful.
Really good.
Oh god.
All right, Chris, what's your answer?
Didn't see a lot of really, really good action movies this year, and I don't want to give everything to fucking Suicide Squad. So I went with one that impressed me. There was an action movie that came out, and it was centered around a specific actor, and I thought to myself, there's no way this dude could make a badass action movie. And I was actually impressed, and that movie is Nobody. I don't know if you've seen it. Correct. I did not think you could make him look like a badass, but goddamn, did he look like a badass and played it off very well. Because I love him in Better Call Saul. That, like, I fucking have watched those seasons. Because Breaking Bad was but if anything good came out of that, it was fucking Better Call Saul. Like, I watched those couple seasons multiple times. I love that actor, and whenever I saw he was going to be,
I haven't seen Breaking Bad yet. I want to watch it finally, so I can then watch Better Call Saul it's
worth it for the Better Call Saul. It's worth it just for the Better Call Saul.
That he's in that movie and in that series, whatever, because he was a comedy guy. And did Mr. Show.
Yep.
90s, like it's weirdest career trajectory for him.
Yeah, it is very interesting for sure. So yeah, Nobody's gonna have to take it from me. I thought he did very well. Yeah, man, I didn't see it happening, so I was like, you know what? He impressed me. Fuck it, he could take the W. I'll give him the W. So happy to do it. That would be my action. Kelsey.
Not sure if it's technically an action, but there's a lot of action in it. Quiet Place 2.
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, we're three options to order that movie off into.
And it's very good, and I would argue that this particular one is more action than drama. Like, there's still plenty of drama going on. It's a bunch of teenagers finding themselves, but at the same time, you've got adults trying to, like, be adults, and I did appreciate that. Like, in this movie, a lot of times when you've got main characters that are teenagers, adults don't fucking exist. And adults just decide, you know what, we're going to stop being adults and we're going to put teenagers in charge and just see what happens. Because it's usually YA that does that. Like, the teenagers have driving force and are a driver of the movie, but you also have adults fucking being adults and trying to be adults of the situation, even the situations that the teenagers are creating. And I appreciate that very much.
Well, you got to remember.
Also, it was a good movie.
You got to remember too. So one, I haven't watched it yet. And I didn't want it to be on my list solely due to The Quiet Place absolutely dominated the last time we did this movie review show. Everybody voted for The fucking Quiet Place at some point in time on their fucking list.
It was
so
good.
It was a great movie. It was a great fucking movie. And I love John Krasinski. Absolutely love him. Like, one of my fucking top actors. He's fucking amazing. Obviously,
Lovely.
The Office is one of my favorite fucking TV shows out there. But that being said, you got to remember, this movie is supposed to be like a I love you letter to like what parents would do for their children. So you talking about the fact that the parents are constantly saying adults in the situation makes sense whenever literally he's the director and that is his vision for this movie. So yeah, I'm excited to watch it. I haven't got around to it yet because I know my boy's not in it and it makes me sad, but I gotta watch it.
He's in it, but he's not in it as much as...
Exactly. So yeah, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it because I want to support him. I think he did a very beautiful piece of work with the first one, and I expect nothing less with the second one. So, But yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that I will go with that one. I did have kind of a fear about that though, that now that they knew what it was and they knew how to fight it, that the second one was going to be a lot more heavy action. So I'm glad to hear that it's still got some drama aspect to it.
It definitely does.
I was so worried that it was going to be like, I was like, we don't need like another fucking World War Z or some shit where it's like, we know how to kill them now, let's fucking kill them all and shit like that. So
No, it is still very much a small family that gives a shit about each other, that is trying to stay alive against something that is bigger and scarier than them, and nobody is on their side. Like,
Yeah.
it is still very much that.
awesome. Yeah, because they did a beautiful job with the first one. So
Yeah.
okay, well, let's see here. We did. Now we're at biggest disappointment, and we're back at the top again. So I'll start that one off. Biggest disappointment. Venom. Let There Be Carnage. Biggest disappointment. I said it from the get-go, and I still stand by it. If you want to do Venom, or if you want to do Carnage, it has to be a rated R movie, and it has to be really bloody, really gory, or the character's just not going to land the way that they want the character to land.
You mean the way that the character should land?
The way the character should land, yes, correct. That being said, once again, I've talked about the fact that I think the comedy is not there. I think that they try to do what Marvel does with the comedy, and I don't think it hits right. I don't know if it's hard for me to believe it's Tom Hardy's fault because Tom Hardy is such a great fucking actor. But someone's fucking up somewhere because the comedy is just not there, and they keep trying to force it, and it doesn't work. Once again, do not make a Marvel level movie with a Marvel level budget if you're not going to give it the full amount of time it takes. It just don't. This movie was like an hour and 16 minutes long.
Yeah, it was really short.
All over the place. All over the fucking place.
With, I think. The Marvel movies get dense because they have all these characters, and then the Venom movie is working with a very limited selection of Venom-related characters, and so it's just like, I don't know, we got Carnage and then Oxen or something. Like, it's, just...
I agree. And if you're going to go that route, spend more time on developing the relationships between the actual characters without Venom being in it.
Sure.
So my issue is that you have this whole, like, the movie starts open where it's like, oh, it's are they going to get back together? Will they, won't they thing? And then it's like, she's like, oh, I got to tell you, I'm getting married to somebody else. That whole fiasco, which was obviously devastating not only for him and Venom, lasted like 10 minutes because that's all they could allow. So within a total of like 15 minutes, you're in his apartment at a very fancy restaurant in an alley back to his apartment. And then all of a sudden now shit's going crazy. And now they need Venom. Like, that's too much. That is too... I was getting whiplash watching the fucking movie. It's fucking insane. It's just too much. So biggest disappointment. I want to see Carnage. Carnage is probably my third, maybe second, probably second favorite Marvel villain of all time. So it really sucks to see him not be portrayed the way that he should. Yeah. And I would go into the last part of what I wanted to say, but it's a pretty big spoiler, so I'm not going to do that. So, but yeah. Sucks. Biggest disappointment.
Go ahead, spoil the damn Carnage movie. I don't care.
I'll let people watch it. So yeah, watch it for yourself, and maybe you'll be as disappointed as I was.
Or don't. I guess. Literally don't.
Yeah. So is what it is. We'll just have to wait and see what they continue to keep doing with this moving forward. Who knows? But anyways, on to Kelsey with her pick for biggest disappointment.
Already kind of hinted the Eternals.
Eternals.
I had hopes with the cast that they got. I was like, these people are rock stars. These people cannot fuck this up. This cannot be fucked up with this group of people. And the emotional beats it was supposed to hit, it just didn't hit.
Damn.
And I was looking at it and I was like, why is this not landing? And I'm looking at the actor and I'm like, the actor is rocking their socks off right now. Like, they are bringing their best game to this. And I'm like, okay, so this isn't them. This is whatever's being built around them. Maybe the score, maybe the lighting, maybe I don't know what, but they were trying to tell an incredible story of an incredible group of people, of non-humans, and they didn't.
Yeah.
They made me almost excited for what they're setting up, but this definitely felt like oh, fuck, we have to do this. So, yeah, I guess this is the backstory, and we're not going to spend more than, like, $30 and 45 minutes on it, so there you go. And that was just way less than what I expected from them, especially with the people that they brought in.
Yeah, I was really excited for that cast. They had two people I was super excited to see on screen. One of them would be my boy from Silicon Valley. I'm terrible fucking names. And
Kumail Nanjiani.
there you go.
Yes.
And then my boy from Atlanta. Super was excited to see him on there as well. So
Brian Tyree Henry, I think.
potentially, I have no idea. Super bad with names.
Damn,
So
you're good at this, dude.
dude, you're fucking killing it.
I went to Atlanta and in Hale.
Dude, Atlanta's so good. Oh gosh. And I was actually excited to see him like branching out into even more movies too, because he's in fucking Joker as well. He plays the dude that's like he keeps the records at the insane asylum, and fucking Joker's character grabs them from him and runs off, and they had that whole like yeah, he plays that guy. Yes, Kelsey.
I have a question. Was this the movie that Kumail Nanjiani would like got ripped for?
Yes.
Yes, that's why he looks like a nightmare now.
Okay. Because what sucked about that is I knew that he got ripped, and I was like, I'm pretty sure he got ripped for this movie. You know what they did? That man got all those abs and all those muscles. They covered him the entire movie.
Yep.
We literally never saw the muscles that he worked his goddamn ass off to get. And what the shit? Like, if you were going to, like, wave some, like, muscle-bound man for me to get excited about, like, let me see the damn muscles. Like, let's go.
Yep.
And
Well,
as excited as I'm going to get about his
then-
face, I'm going to get excited whether you show me the abs or not. So show me the abs.
No one asked him to get ripped. He just said, "I'm gonna get ripped," and then they're like, "Oh, why?"
It's a superhero movie, dude. That's why. Like
You're the
I don't
guy who
blame
has
him.
finger guns. You don't need to get ripped.
Yeah.
It's also not hard for them to like they jumped through multiple different like eras of people wearing things. It would not have been hard for just one of those for him to show his abs.
Yeah.
Just one.
That's fair. Because he looked so weird in Silicon Valley whenever he got to that last season, and he was already in that muscle building phase, and he went from being like real skinny to like he's like sitting there. There was like one scene where they're all sitting at a table and he's wearing a shirt and it's like barely even able to go down over his fucking bicep, and he's just sitting there all stoic and shit. You're just all like, dude's ready. Dude is fucking ready. Let's go. I was happy, man. He did a good job transforming like that, but it sucks to hear that he's kind of just letting that go now. But you know, hey, his body.
It's hard to keep up.
I'm sure it is. Look at The Rock. The Rock has proven that time and time again. So I love him so much. I wish that there was more for him to be on my list anywhere. My favorite thing to do, especially now that I have a daughter, because she watches Frozen like non-fucking stop, obviously. But her other one that she likes is Moana. And listening to him do the "You're Welcome" song, as like I said, if I had to pick Disney movies for her, I'm happy with the ones that she's picked. I can't think of any other selfish, narcissistic characters than Maui and Olaf. Like, they're both great. They're fantastic. So I can watch them and actually have a character I enjoy. Like, whenever fucking they're doing the second Frozen and Anna's trying to fucking help Elsa find the voice that she keeps hearing. And so she's mimicking it. And then Olaf starts doing it. He's in that really high pitch. And Anna's just like, maybe only one of you should do it. And he goes, yeah, I agree. Her pitch is way off. I should definitely be the one that's doing this. I'm like, that's my guy, dude. That's my fucking guy. And then the whole "You're Welcome" song, I could have wrote that. Like, easily. Like, that totally fucking resonated with me. So I was like, this is okay. But I love watching him sing that with his daughter. And then as soon as the song is over, he goes, "Is Daddy Maui?" And she's like, "No."
Yeah, no, his daughter straight up does not believe that's him.
I know, it's so great.
And he's like, no, it's actually me. And she's like, no, it's not.
And it's just such a heartwarming moment. I love him. He's so great. Anyways.
So cute.
So yeah.
Jungle Cruise, because that's The Rock's.
I
That's
haven't.
the movie he was in. I didn't see that
I
either.
want to watch
And I'm pretty sure it came out 2021, and
It
I
did.
watched it.
It did come out in 2021, and I did not watch it.
Oh, why would you?
I wanted to, because it also has what's her face from The Quiet Place. So
Yeah.
Emily Blunt.
there you go, Blunt. Yeah, two very awesome actor and actresses that I would love to see in a movie together, because they're great without being in a movie together. So you would think they'd be great in a movie together, but I just, like I said, man, it's hard for me to want to watch anything Disney related. I just don't care. It's because Jungle Cruise is
And
Disney,
that one's
right?
It
yeah,
is.
and your kid's not going to care about that.
Yeah,
one.
my kid's not gonna
Yeah.
care about that one exactly. It's
The
not like I'm
number
gonna
one
walk out
movie
there.
based on a Disney theme park ride since Pirates of the Caribbean.
There you go. So,
God,
well.
Pirates is so good.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. We can't put that on. my list,
JoJo,
though.
what was your disappointment?
Mine's more conceptual. It's like yesterday I was like, I should, I haven't seen the Matrix thing yet. I want to check that out, and it turns out not on HBO Max anymore. Even though they own that, apparently it was out like at release on HBO, and then like it took it down. It's like it's a tight window. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll check Dune then. And then Dune was also not there. And like I wanted to see Spider-Man, but now the movie theater isn't open before 5 p.m. And that's like a issue. I want to go like see it at 2 p.m. or something. You know, a nice little afternoon when no one's there. And it's like, no, apparently movie theaters are only open at night. So my disappointment is everything sucks. Everything's hard to see. And confusing.
Sure.
No. So yeah, and then the Lady Taskmaster.
Woo! I got you, dude. Fair enough.
Oh, and then not having Johnny Cage in that Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, that was rough. That was a hard hit, especially for Mortal Kombat fans. That was a hard hit. So that's fair. All right. Well, we'll move on to honorable mention. Kelsey, go ahead and kick it off for us. Honorable mentions.
So my honorable mention is The Kingsman, the third one.
Okay.
The King's Man. Honestly, that movie did not get, like, a lot of people didn't like it because it was a little bit more serious and less ridiculous than the first two. And so people are just like, man, I'm only here to watch it to, like, Tyrion Edgerton, like, bang hot women, like, up the ass. That's the whole reason I come to these things. And I feel like this
Is that what that movie's about?
It shows up more than once, so
okay.
I'll let you watch the movie and find out. But the third one is quite a bit more serious, and there was actually... Have either of you seen it?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
But you can spoil it. Yeah, you can spoil it. I don't care.
I'm not going to spoil a whole bunch, but there is the opportunity in the movie for them to glorify the shit out of war. Like actual war. And I was really worried because it looked like they were doing that, and they were in the process of like, war is going on and a guy's being brave and like glory chords and all that kind of shit. And I'm just like, guys, like, you can't glorify this. Like, war is horrifying and horrible, and there's nobody who's been through it that's like, this is full of glory and goodness and like what you should esteem to do. Like, nobody's says that. Like, this is not a glory moment. And the way that they showed we have the potential to glorify this and we're not fucking going to, and the crash as they showed, like, war is not glorious, war is horrible, and we need to be really honest about that, was so well done. It like astonishingly well done to still make a mostly lighthearted movie. Like, excellent. Genuinely, you guys should go see it because it was very, very, very good. But I don't think it was amazing enough to knock out any of the rest of these, but
That's
it was
fair.
very good.
Fair. Solid pick for honorable mention and solid reasonings behind it. JoJo.
Again, I think this is what we did for the games thing too. I'm going to honorably mention something I didn't see, which is The French Dispatch, which is the Wes Anderson movie they put out last year. I really like his stuff in general. I like Moonrise Kingdom and Rushmore and the Royal Tenenbaums and such.
Fair enough.
So I need to see that. Might pay $7 to rent it from Amazon.
My significant other came in my room so many times and was asking why I was just watching so many movies, and I was trying to just hyperload so many 2021 movies in preparation for this show within the last couple days. And the one that I didn't get to is the one that I wanted to watch the fucking most, and I'm really upset about it. So that one is my honorable mention, which is a movie I also did not watch. The Green Knight. I literally just talked about this on the last podcast, and I did not get a chance to fucking watch it. And I didn't even notice that it's a fucking one of the categories I left out because I know you two don't give a shit about it. But horror, I didn't even know it was fucking category like under the horror category. It's a fucking horror film. Yeah, didn't even fucking know that. Didn't even know that. I was like, how have I not watched this yet? Fuck. Green is my favorite color. Medieval is my favorite era. And it's a fucking horror movie. Hits all the goddamn boxes. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck?
I don't know, Kelsey. I don't know. Trying to not get fucking COVID. All just to get it in the fucking very beginning of 2022. Fuck. So, yeah, I'm pretty upset that I haven't watched it yet. I'm probably going to watch it tonight. I haven't decided. It's for sure going to happen by the end of this weekend. That is 100% fucking happening. But that's my honorable mention. And for our last category here, we have our number one favorite best movie of 2021, JoJo. Start us off.
Okay, again, 5 things I think that I saw. That Suicide Squad movie, I think, actually, half the stuff I saw was like comic book stuff, and I was better than that stuff. I think, the ones it was fun and had actual like character development. I was good, like, had characters I cared about by the end, which was impressive because that last movie was absolute trash.
Yep.
It kind of is a fake out where they make it's not as much of a gore fest after the first 10 minutes as they make you think it will be, and they let you connect to the characters even though you're still tense that stuff's going to happen all the time. It doesn't really.
They did a very good job of promoting that movie to making me think
Yeah.
that anybody who landed on that island besides Harley Quinn was actually going to be a character anywhere after the first 3 minutes of that movie. I legitimately thought like the rat guy and shit like that were going to be actual characters, and that entire team gets slaughtered in the first 3 minutes of that movie. And then it's like, by the way, B team is on the other side of the island. Here's who you're actually watching the entire movie. And I was like, wow, fucking threw me for a loop. I was like, holy shit, they did well on this marketing. Like, all the fucking trailers was about A team. I was like, okay. So, yeah, they did really good.
The thing I appreciate about that and about the Peacemaker show now, too, that James Gunn does with the DC stuff is just pretends that there's a whole universe that already exists. Like, all the Marvel stuff, you need... A character only exists if they explicitly introduce the character to you in another movie.
Right.
But, like, Suicide Squad is like, I don't know, there's a million superheroes. They all exist. We just offhandedly mention the existence of someone like Batmite. And that's okay. That's the universe we live in. And so I think that's very fun that they get to just use all the weirdest, most obscure dudes and not care about, like, continuity of a larger universe.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it also is a very interesting thing to point out. Is it just that whatever James Gunn touches is fucking magic? Or is it that maybe the reason the DC universe sucks so bad in movies is because of the director? Very interesting question.
Because there are
very
movies
interesting
that were
question.
not Zack Snyder related that were better than some. I mean,
You got Gal fucking Gadot as Wonder Woman, Ben fucking Affleck as Batman, and fucking, Jason Momoa as Aquaman, and Henry Cavill as Superman. You got A-team fucking actors and actresses. Like, where are we at?
Ben Affleck, Batman is good. He's good at being that version of, like, old man, tired Batman.
Well, old man, tired Batman.
Sucks to death like what
so
he's in.
True.
But, like,
it's so true.
That's like Dark Knight Returns esque, like, he's good at that.
Did you ever watch, was it Batman Beyond?
A little bit.
That's what Ben Affleck's Batman reminds me of. Like, the fucking old school Batman who, like, the young hotshot Batman who's now the new Batman, and he's just walking around with a cane and shit. It's like, you're never going to be as good as I was. Da-da-da-da-da. Like,
I think
that's what he reminds me of.
Doing with Michael Keaton Batman. That movie is going to have him come back and be, like, actually old-ass Batman. Cool as hell.
Well, yeah, not a bad pick. Fair enough. My movie, at one point, is kind of a surprise, I would think, but at the same time, I did talk about this movie a lot. I had to give it to this movie. Absolutely 100% did. Fucking Demon Slayer Mugen Train, dude. It's been a long time since I sat down in a theater and bawled my fucking eyes out. I've grown ass man and grown ass woman, my significant other, are both 30 years old, watching this movie and just fucking crying. Just fucking crying. Oh my god. So, now that it's been long enough, I can fucking talk about it. Whenever I started watching Demon Slayer, every time I watch an anime, I'm like, I gotta pick somebody that's gonna be my person. This is my favorite anime character. The SAO was Asuna, fucking My Hero Academia, it's Deku. Like, I need a favorite anime character from each show I watch. It helps you kind of, like, get with the show. Didn't really have anybody out of, like, all the new Demon Slayer kids that were coming out of the academy or whatever you want to call it. Like, Inosuke is cool and all, but I was like, all right, maybe the Hashira, the top of the line. These guys are badass, fucking just tested. They're ready to fucking go. And then I saw Rengoku for the first time, and his fucking real big bug eyes and, like, his fucking red and blonde hair, and he's the Flame Hashira. Flame's my favorite element. I was like, let's fucking go. This dude looks cool as shit. So I started doing all this reading on him, and I was like, this is my guy. All to go and watch the movie and him fucking die. Fucking A. I was so, because he's just the nicest Hashira at all. Like, most of them are dicks because they're like, we're fucking here. Like, you guys are nothing. You're just wanting to be what we are. He's like, as he's dying, he's like, I had to give my life for you guys. The young buds need to be able to bloom for us to move forward and shit like that. As he's fucking dying. Like, he's just literally bleeding the fuck out. And he's just all like, don't cry. It's okay. Use this, move forward. Be a better demon slayer. Learn from this. Like, learn from what my mistake was. And I'm just like, bruh. So, in the beginning of the movie, you love him right off the bat because, like, they're all like, "Oh, we're gonna be teaming up with this Hashira," because the way the Demon Slayer stuff works is they have these crows that can talk, and so whenever you become a Demon Slayer, you get this crow, and this crow gets the messages from the other crows to tell you where you're supposed to go. So that was how, like, the first season ended. You're going on the Mugen train, and you're going to be teamed up with the Flame Hashira Rengoku, and they were all like, "Oh, this is gonna be awesome," and then bam. That was the end of the first season, and then the movie actually is what takes place in between, which is kind of cool. So they end up seeing him at the very beginning of the train. He's just doing his normal shit, just being that nice guy, da-da-da-da-da. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll train all you. You want to learn under me? That's completely fine. Cool, cool, cool. The fight scene. If you don't ever watch the movie, if you never watch the anime, I still highly recommend you watch the fight scene because the whole thing is basically this. There's this demon that's taken over this train, somehow has melded his body into the train, and then by the time he gets to a specific stop, he kills every fucking passenger on board, eats them, they're gone. Like, and it's been happening for a while, so now they're like, we got to get a Hashira out there. Let's get this fucking demon out. So he gets out there. They end up killing the demon, all for, like, the way it works is, like, the Hashira are the top fucking demon slayers. There's also the top ranking demons. And we've never seen, like, a top ranking demon in action in the entire season at all. And, like, the top third demon shows up. And it is a fucking fight. And it's like they're going at it, and it's one of those where, like, you keep rooting for Rengoku, and shit keeps happening. Because demons, there's plenty of times where Rengoku, single swipe, cuts off both his arms completely, and he regrows them back in a second. Like, demons can just regenerate that fucking quick. But they can't survive in the day, so they have to do all their hunting and shit at night. So fucking Rengoku's out here fighting him. He fucking shatters his ribs, punctures his fucking lung, cracks his fucking eyeball completely, almost fucking out. Like, I mean, he fucks Rengoku up. And there's so many times where he's all like, just become a demon. If you say you'll become a demon, I can turn you into a demon. Your power cannot be wasted. You are one of the most amazing swordsmen I've ever seen. And he's like, the way he talks is just so funny. Like, when they first see him eat food, he's just like, tasty! And then he takes another bite. Tasty! Like, that's just how he talks. So, like, he's sitting there talking, and he's all like, no matter what you say, you are a demon, and you attack innocent people. So, therefore, I do not like you, and I will not become a demon. Like, that's just, like, will not be fucking tempted by anything. This dude's like, we'll live forever, we'll battle for centuries, like, it will be great. He's just like, I do not like you. You pick on the weak. I will not become a demon. And so he's just fucking fighting. So, like, he gets hit real hard, and you see all this blood coming out of his mouth and stuff, and you're just like, oh no, this is where he's gonna fucking die. He's gonna die. No, and I'm right here. I'm bawling. This is where I start crying. I'm like, no, he's gonna fucking die. I'm just watching the scene, and he does this whole cool thing where he, like, takes this fucking ironclad stance, and the demon is just blown back, and then, like, you see all this fire come around him, and he's like, level 10 flame breathing Rengoku. So, like, this is a secret art that his father taught him that no one else knows. Secret move. It's their family last name. Never seen anybody else do this. And he does, like, this fucking fire dragon, like, in front of the demon within a second. So, like, what was really cool is when they clash, normally you see the big attack and then boom, whatever was supposed to die is going to die. They actually take you inside the fire and you see him go to swing and go for the demon's neck, and the demon hits the sword and it goes down to his stomach. And then the demon starts laughing because he's like, I got you. And then, like, fucking Rengoku screams. And when he does, you just see flame just bust out the sword, and he turns the sword around and starts going up towards the demon's neck. And then everything goes white. And then all of a sudden, like, fucking Tanjiro's like, is that it? Is it over? Did Rengoku win? And you literally see the smoke start to clear, and Rengoku is above him with the sword. Demon's head isn't completely connected, and the demon has skewered him with his own fucking arm. So he is completely through his entire fucking body. And then, like, Rengoku's sitting there, like, coughing up blood, and he's like, you know you're gonna die. Say you'll be a demon. Say you'll be a demon. And he's like, absolutely not. And like the other guys were trying to help him, but they were injured. He kept yelling at him like, "Stay out of this, you'll die. Do not fucking move. I've got this." Da 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 da. And so all of a sudden the sun starts to come up, and the demon's like, "I got to get the fuck out of here." And Rengoku's like, "Absolutely not," and fucking launches that katana halfway into his neck. So now the demon is sitting here trying to stop the fucking sword. Or no. He's got his hand, one hand through him, and the other one he goes to punch him. And Rengoku actually catches his hand. He's like, "The amount of power you have, even at your death right now." And Rengoku's like, "I will not let you go." All for the demon to like literally just basically snap off both his arms and then fucking take off running and get away. It was so sad. And so like Tanjiro runs after him and he's like, "Where are you going? Don't run from me," and throws his fucking sword. And he's like, "I'm not running from you, kid. I'm running from the sun. You're not even a threat. This battle is over. He's gonna die." And then Tanjiro is all like, "Don't forget, we have to hunt you at night. When we get hurt, it doesn't heal. When we lose a limb, it's gone forever. We hunt you whenever it is your prime time. You're nothing but a bunch of fucking cowards." Rengoku saved everybody. And like he did like all these moves when the train was crashing and shit, saved every fucking passenger. No one fucking died. And so he's just sitting there like bleeding out. He's trying to talk to Tanjiro, and he's crying, and Asuke's crying. All the characters are crying but fucking Rengoku. And he's doing this whole speech about, like, you guys got to be able to live and move forward. And then all of a sudden he sees his mom, and his mom died, like, very early on in his life. And he just looks at her, and it, like, plays back the last conversation they had where she's like, do you know why you were born with so much power? And he goes, "No." And she goes, "Because it's your job and responsibility to do what you can to help out other people who can't do it themselves." And so he just looks at his mom, and then he just like says to her, like talking to her ghost, and he's all like, Did I make you proud? Did I serve my purpose?" And she's like, "Absolutely." And so like he just gets this smile, and you see these tears go down his eye. I am dying in the movie. I'm trying not to cry right now. I am dying in the movie theater at this fucking point. Oh, it was so sad. It's like try to do the comedic effect because Inosuke is just like this really loud mouth fucking dude. So he's like, "Get up, we gotta train our asses off." He's like, "Stop crying." They're like, "Yeah, but you're crying." He's like, "No, I'm not." And there's all these tears coming out. He's like, "We gotta get stronger for Bug Eyes," and shit like that. Because that's what he kept calling me because he didn't know how to say Rengoku. So he's like, "We gotta get stronger for Bug Eyes. Let's go train our asses off." And I was just like, "Oh no." And so then the entire fucking credits is just a fucking homage to Rengoku. And I'm just like, "Ah!" And I was like, it would be the moment I'm like, you know what? This is my guy. I finally chose my Hashira, and then he's dead. I was like, motherfucker. And I look it up, and sure enough, it's canon. I was like, great. So the entire first part of the second season, the first half, is the fucking movie. So I get to watch him die all over again. I was like, God damn it, man. Come on, dude. Don't do this to me a second time. So that's my pick for best movie. Sorry, I went a little long on that one, but I wanted to really let you guys know why that was my pick. So, yeah, like I said, not another movie did that to me the entirety of 2021, and that fucking just had me bawling. So, it won. That was my pick. It won. Kelsey.
Because I can literally follow that.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, everybody. No, like, you've got this big emotional reason, and I'm just like, the movie I enjoyed the most was probably Free Guy, but I don't feel like that one had, like, the quality level to be the best picture of 2021, so okay. I'm going with Spider-Man No Way Home, and I don't think I'm wrong. Like, I don't think anybody can look at me and be like, you're a sellout. Like, no, it's a great movie.
If I saw it, I would probably for it too.
What I will say, without any spoilers, is that it is a fantastic movie to watch. The one things that I do disagree with, one of them is completely biased, which is that I do not think it's the best Spider-Man movie. Obviously, because I'm biased. And the main thing that I constantly disagreed with is that everybody said that this is better than any other Marvel movie that's come out. And I find Endgame very hard, or even Infinity War, to get topped. Black Panther to be topped by Spider-Man. It's just not.
I very much enjoyed this. I feel like one of the messages that came out of this for the fan base is, hey, do you remember the characters that you love? Do you remember the the joy of going to a Marvel movie and like the wonderful feeling that you walked out of the theater with? You can still have that even though those like your main Avengers aren't there. Like there's still plenty of people who can carry this whole universe forward, so keep coming because we have great stories to tell you. And I feel like that message resounded loud and clear in this movie without question. if anybody tells me it's the best Marvel movie, we're gonna have a fight. Like, it's gonna be a verbal fight, but we're gonna have a fight. It's not. It does not beat Endgame in my opinion.
Super good movie, but yeah, it is definitely not the best Marvel movie.
Which that would they invited all those people back, but didn't get Paul Giamatti, the Rhino again.
Oh, he was so useless in the movie. That was probably the biggest letdown for me out of that whole series, was the fact that I thought that he was going to be a bigger villain. I'm watching the fucking trailer for Amazing Spider-Man 2, and I was like, it's going to have all these villains, and it's like Rhino's there for like 10 seconds in the beginning, and then the last 10 seconds of the movie, I was like, okay, fucking A.
They were setting him up. They were setting up a bunch of shit.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I can do.
Opportunity to bring it back.
I can live without that Rhino. I'm completely okay with that. I can live without that one. But yeah, no, I guess I will say that was probably the last movie I cried at was Endgame. Tony Stark dying. Once again, I know my favorite Marvel character is Deadpool, but Iron Man is my favorite Marvel hero. And he did not have a big fan base when I started liking him. Well before his movie, no one really cared too much about him. And to see, it wasn't so much when he died. Like, I felt choked up, but I wasn't crying. It was the fucking funeral. Seeing everybody there, and then them doing the whole talk about, like, the cheeseburgers and shit like that. Like, the daughter's like, yeah, I want a cheeseburger. And I was just like, you're killing me. Stop it. The whole I love you 3000. I was just like, oh my God. It's killing me. So, yeah, that was probably the last time I cried in the movie. Before Mugen Train. So. But yeah, no, good pick. Like I said, I feel realistically, if JoJo had seen Spider-Man, there's a very good chance that probably would have been most of everybody's best movie of 2021. But I just wanted to try to go for something different because I wanted to leave Marvel off the list. That was my own personal thing, but I can definitely agree. Out of all the movies I've seen, it was probably the best movie I've seen out of 2021. For sure. Yeah. And it was really well done. They did a very good job, and I'm excited to do our review show on it because I think we have a lot we could talk about, and I think that would be a fun episode. So, other than that, that's our list. We got all the way through it. Look at that. It was a long list. A lot longer than the video game one. I guess we just had a lot more to say about the video game stuff than we did about the movies. So
that's fair. Like, video games are a much more immersive experience than watching a movie is.
I just also played way more video games.
That's
than I saw movies.
Very
that
true.
Too.
Very true. I guess we'll go ahead and end it here then. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you comment. Let us know that you enjoy us doing these award shows, because then we can try to make sure we definitely do them every year, because we have a lot of fun doing it. I mean, it's fun to kind of, just like the video game list. I mean, we were able to be like, hey guys, why don't you go test this out? Why don't you go test this out?
JoJo.
We'll give JoJo a second.
I was like,
oh, there we go. Wow.
I definitely thought you were just like, all right, we're done with the show, I'm leaving. And I was like, no, we're still on camera, dude.
Actor of the Year, Kumail Nanjiani.
Oh, man.
Now, I need to know, does the suit come off and you get to see the abs?
Nope. He does this. Wait, where's the...
So much functionality these days in fucking figures. Good God. Oh, man.
Why bother?
I agree.
It's not worth it.
I completely agree. Anyways.
I have like most of these. So I've got like a little shitty little Salma Hayek. You know, like Oscar winner and Jolie is a little shitty big-headed plastic garbage thing. It's great. I love it.
It slightly waggles their arms.
Good God. Anyways, so comment, let us know you like these shows. Like I said, we like doing them. It's a lot of fun for us. On top of that, also make sure to comment on our list, what your thoughts and views are on some of the stuff we picked. Also tell us what your list is as well. Feel free to play along as we went through the columns. Once again, that was Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Visual Effects, Best Comedy, Best Drama, Best Action, Biggest Disappointment, Honorable Mentions, and Best Favorite Movie of 2021. So, feel free to play along. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. As much as I wish he could be part of our cast, we are not anywhere near popular enough for that. But have a great rest of your week, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.